Hello. Hi there. Let's see. Hello. Welcome to, I think it's still January. It's still January. So it's Australia Day here in Australia. And I was like, cool, we're going to stream today because I don't have hockey practice. I don't have anything going on. I do have work tomorrow. So I do have a time I have to end the stream. But it was like, you can start whenever. So I was like, I'll do it after dinner, as I normally would. Still eating. Still haven't progressed anywhere. So I was like, you know what, we're just going to start anyways because, screw it. Hey, Peanut. How you doing? You're here early. I see you've just arrived. How you doing? You having a good day today? I decided to stream Pokemon today because I wanted to stream Pearl. I've been talking to myself about like, you're gonna stream it. Haven't done it. It's just like casually sat here. I've played a bit of Diamond. I haven't gotten to the point where you can get the surprise gifts, so I like totally missed out on the Christmas ones. But it's still possible for me to get the like early like sign up the early sign up ones. So I'm gonna do those still in Diamond. I just have to like finish. I think it's like beat the first gym and like then get back to Jubilee City, like the first big city you get to. So I have to like go back there, like get the surprise gift and be like, bam, got it, and like unlock it, and then it's like, hooray. But I actually have found out like an interesting like fun little tidbit about like my like emotes recently, because I haven't paid much attention to them because affiliates only get a certain number of them. Found out that I like unlocked animated ones and like unlocked extra emotes just for funsies. Apparently it like unlocked like all of the affiliate ones, like the animated ones, and if I stream like 60 times in like 60 days in 6 months, I'll like unlock follower ones, because I'd streamed enough before, but then I like went on a break for a bit, and it like took away the right for me to have them. So they're there, I have them unlocked, I just can't use them until I do that. So I've decided my main goal now is to do 60 streams in like 60 days of it, so I can re-unlock that, and by the time I'll have unlocked it, I'll actually have emotes to put in there, because currently I don't know what I want to put in there. I have like ideas, but like I haven't drawn anything like emote related in a little while, so I have some thoughts about what I'm gonna use for them, because I'm like, I wanted to make ones of my pets from before. So I had a couple of pets, beautiful things. They've all passed away though. But I like have pictures of them that I really treasure, in specific like moods of like my dog's Jinx, Casper, and my dog, like my cat Fluffy. And so I'm thinking I'm gonna make those guys into emotes just because I love them so much and I want to share them with the universe. Kind of like a way to commemorate them and save them out there in the ethos in a way that if I ever see someone using them, I can be like, oh, they like love them as much as I do. Because they're not here, but I want some way to preserve them. I don't know if that's weird or sad, but it's just, I miss them, but they're gone. Anyways, that's my thought process with it. So that's where I am. Anyways, I hope everyone's been having a good day. Where should I put that? So I'm currently still eating my dinner because I'm just that special. Of like, I was like, oh yeah, I'll be finished up by 8 o'clock. Surprise, didn't. However, it's been an interesting week. I started streaming again like a couple weeks back on the 10th, and then I was like, oh look, I've started streaming again. And then I had a bunch of like breathing issues happen for like a window of time. I don't know what was going on with my body or me, but I just like casually had a breakdown for like a week where I was just having breathing issues all the time, like every night when I got home. Apparently it was a very productive work week. I've been informed by my manager that I did really well that week, but I don't remember half of the week because I was spending it in like pain. Regardless, I couldn't move my doctor's appointment earlier because she's on a holiday until February, so it's been a fun like week and a bit of just like stress and anxiety, and it's the build up, and like I'm working on trying to get everything lined up for uni, but I'm also dealing with all this work stuff. I'm just like, why? Why is this the way things are going? Why is this the start of the year? Like everyone remembers back in 2020 when it was like everything's gonna be better in 2021. Well, we're in 2022 now. We're still here. It's still a catastrophe. Like, what happened? Just why? But the main reason I haven't gotten back into playing more Diamond and Pearl is I kind of had what's called like a Pokemon funk, where it was just like I played a bunch of Sword and Shield, didn't finish it, have the DLC, never played it, but I bought all the DLC for like Sword and Shield and then just never played it. I'm like, I'll eventually get around to it, probably, possibly. I say this as someone who never finished Sun and Moon. I just never did, because Ultra Sun and Moon came out and I became entirely pissed off with the fact that Ultra Sun and Moon is basically Sun and Moon, but with like DLC added. Like they changed a little bit of the story in a way that I was like, you could have just done this as an update to Sun and Moon. I personally believe this. Hey, the Spook Ghost, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. So I just like didn't get back into playing Pokemon for a while. So I've bought Pokemon games in between then and now. So I have like Mystery Dungeon, I have Pokemon Snap. Have not played Pokemon Snap yet. I don't know what's wrong with me. I watch people play Pokemon Snap. I want to play Pokemon Snap. But I also like when I get around to the act of playing Pokemon Snap, I just stop. I don't know what it is. I don't know what if it's like, like when you have like you're just some kind of funk with a franchise. That seems to be what's been happening recently. So I was just like, you know what? You played a ton of Animal Crossing lately. In fact, I've played so much Animal Crossing lately that I'm like worried I'll burn out. Because what I'm doing at the moment in the game isn't like decorating entirely. I have to like, it's essentially, I'm doing my dailies, doing a tiny bit of decorating in between, and then moving houses. Because I have to move all the villager houses from one area to a different area. So I just like stopped playing. I've just been doing dailies to like progress my characters each day, because there's some stuff you can only do once a day, and so you have to. So I've been doing that in order to move things forward a day. But it's like I can feel the burnout coming in the back of my brain, like the like that feeling at the back where it's just like, stop playing. You don't want to play this anymore. So I can just feel that coming up in the back of my brain with Animal Crossing. I'm like, calm. We're gonna take a pause. We're gonna play something else. I want to play Eastward, but I'm also very split with the game because I missed out on a collectible in the game. And it makes me sad because I now know where the collectible is, but I didn't go and get the collectible, and so I'm split with that collectible. Of do I start over to play that game to get every collectible in the game, or do I just keep going and then later on do a 100% playthrough of my own ones at a later point? Because I mostly remember the game, but I also don't remember some of the game. So I'm still thinking it over. I'm thinking I'm probably going to just keep playing it and start playing it again on the stream, because that's where I was playing it. Because I liked the game. I really did enjoy it. I just haven't finished it. I'm at like chapter 4 of however many chapters there are. I looked it up because I was kind of curious, like how many chapters there were. And there's apparently, let's see, where was that thing again? It was I know I just saw a thing here of how many chapters there were. There are. It's just not going to tell me. The game is essentially fighting me in its urge to tell me how many chapters there are. It's got to be at least 6. Because I'm at 4. The story still has places in it that I haven't seen from the trailer, because the trailer showed a lot of places in the game. So like showed all these places in the trailer, and there's a couple of places that I just haven't seen yet. So there's got to be at least 2 more places to show. So I'm thinking that at least there's 6, because I'm in either 4 or 5. So there's got to be at minimum 6 or 7. Because it feels like the game feels like it's in a middle part. It doesn't feel like it's at the end. Because when you figure out a game, you're like, all this other stuff has been resolved, but there's still more to go. There's like places in the game that just haven't been shown yet. So there's got to be at minimum 2 other places, and each place seems to have like 2 chapters. So my thought is it's got to be at least 7 minimum if there's only 1 place and it's like 2 places in one. So like the place you're at in Eastward at the moment, it's got like 2 areas. Okay, cool. So maybe it's like that's 2 chapters. So, I don't know. It's just my thought process around it. Regardless, on stream, I'm going to do Pearl today. I debated showing Diamond in person, but when I played as a kid, because I played these games on the DS, they were my first games on the DS that I had for Pokemon. I got these two. I got Pokemon and Pearl. When I got my DS, I got Diamond and Pearl. I got this Chocobo game that was like it was like an adventure game with chocobos. Then you had like collect cards all through this world, and like some of the cards were other chocobos had been turned into like cards by this villain. I still wish they'd make that into a thing. This gives me hope that they could take some of the DS games and bring them to the Switch like that Chocobo game, because it was so good. In fact, I didn't even know that was related to Final Fantasy, because I didn't play Final Fantasy games growing up. Because most of the games I got were either cheap, on sale, or at some kind of bargain store. There was very few that were like new ones. The newest ones I got were Pokemon. I got one at like a deal for like the Game Boy Color game that was on my Game Boy. I had like half a dozen games. Most of the time the games I got, so I do have a thing of Game Boy games. A lot of them you can tell aren't like AAA big title games, but they were enjoyable. I had fun. I still think of them fondly, the same way with my PlayStation 2 games. So I never played any of the Final Fantasy games because just didn't. My dad was the one who bought all the ones for the PlayStation 2, and we had like 5 or 6 games, and we basically just played those. Those kind of like fulfilled our needs on the PlayStation. This, however, was a game I got because I loved Pokemon. My parents made the mistake of getting me Sapphire and Ruby, along with Fire Red and Leaf Green and Emerald, so I had those 5 on the Game Boy. So when I got a DS, I wanted Pokemon. So when in 2007, it was like 2007-ish, I got Pearl and Diamond plus Phantom Hourglass, which, whole different story. Animal Crossing Wild World, and this Chocobo game. Loved the Chocobo game. I got a bunch of other games when we traveled to the US at one point because the games there were cheaper than in Australia. But I mostly played a lot of Animal Crossing and the Pokemon games. Do you still feel the same way about Phantom Hourglass then as I do now? That I did not enjoy it. Everyone I know who says give Phantom Hourglass a chance, it was a great game, their first Zelda game was not Phantom Hourglass. I've never met someone whose first game was Phantom Hourglass who said, that was a great game. If one of you exists out there in the universe, come, tell me that it was a good game and tell me why. But I have yet to find one. So regardless of this, I have my opinions of Phantom Hourglass. I will eventually play it. Don't feel the need for it to be brought to the Switch. Change my mind. But we're going to see if Pearl and Diamond, if they're as good as the originals. Because sometimes you'll have like nostalgia around a game. The way I had with Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald, I still believe the original music from the Game Boy was better than it was on the DS. When it was like made over to the new system, they changed all the music. It was probably to modernize it, but I still prefer the original music. Now, we're going to see if I still like the music, because I know sometimes they change the music with, like, remakes with Pearl and Diamond, so we're going to see if I still enjoy the game. We're going to see if I still like it, because I played a bit of Diamond, and honestly, I stopped, because I was like, you know where it's like you're doing it because you're like, I have to do it by a certain date to get this thing? So I was doing it for that reason rather than, like, enjoying and playing the game. So I was like, you know what? We're going to stop. We're going to do it this way, and then I'm going to, like, take my time a bit with Diamond and get through doing that, because I do want to eventually get the gift before February 21st. I've got, like, 25 days to do it. I believe in myself, but we're going to play this today on stream and hopefully have some fun, because, you know, one has to believe in, like, the power of Diamond and Pearl to, like, do it, you know? Let's see. There we go. Alrighty. Ah, here we are. Found it. It's been a while since I used my buttons, so I forgot what all the symbols I've made are for. because I decided to make it into symbols. Now, I also figured out why they have two Japanese, why they have Nihongo and Nihongo and Kanji. I believe it's because children and adults, so this is for the kids and this is for the adults. Incidentally, the hiragana writing system was actually invented for women because women weren't taught to like read kanji most of the time unless they were from like really wealthy families. So they had to make a writing system that they could use with Japanese. Like, because obviously they had to have something, right? They couldn't have nothing. So let's see. I'm gonna put some music on because honestly I cannot hear the Elgato for whatever reason. So hopefully this is okay. We'll turn it off if like there's jam and battle music. So we're gonna start the game. And I'm doing it in English, because even though I can read Japanese, my Japanese skills are mixed. That's been much light. Hello there, it's so very nice to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. Honestly, cannot hear the Elgato's music at all. Aha! I can hear it now. Me and my system, we have special moments. However, everyone just calls me the Pokemon Professor. I swear, sometimes I don't remember if he looked exactly like this. I think he did back in the Game Boy, like the DS days. The world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. So, I really like how they've evolved some of the newer games because of like the Pokemon movies, where it was like they made them in the real world and they looked so good in like the real world thing. Like Detective Pikachu blew my mind. I still love that movie. I don't know if I own it on DVD. I bought a bunch of movies on DVD that I loved recently because they were all like cheaper. I don't remember if I bought Pokemon, like the Detective Pikachu one. I'm gonna have to search because I honestly want to make sure that I own that. But I don't want to like buy it twice. At times we play together and other times we work together. Some people use their Pokemon to battle and develop closer bonds with them. I actually watched a playthrough recently of like someone who decided to like specialize run-throughs of Pokemon. They were like doing it as a challenge, like time of like could they play Pokemon with like without taking any damage, and one where they like did the whole game without doing damage, but they still use Leech Seed. I don't know if that like applies. They had specialized rules so they could use like ones where it was like they're only taking to regain their health. I think it was like the rule because they were just like backfilling their own health, but I don't think it's truly possible to like fully do it, like, you know, with like just moves like Harden and Growl. I don't personally believe it's possible. Acno creature research, so we may learn more about Pokemon. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? I still remember watching the original like game, like the original TV show, and like when Ash told him that like he saw this specialized Pokemon, he was just like, oh, that's fascinating, like that couldn't have been real. And I'm like, how could that not have been real? Like we totally saw it. It occurred. It happened. Like what do you mean? A fine name that is. Yeah, thanks. I'm very happy with it too. Now this boy here, I believe he is your friend. What might his name be? You know, I would so love to call him Ralph. Or go with something else, or I'll go with Ralph. Ralph is a very good name. We're gonna do it. We're gonna call him Ralph, just because I happen to like the name Ralph. And everyone knows like Ralph S. Mouse, like the books from back in the early 2000s. I don't remember the original author, but my second grade teacher gave me those books because she was convinced that I'd be like invested in those, and I was like, true, like I do suppose I was invested. Your very own tale of great adventures is about to unfold. On your journey, we will meet countless Pokemon and people. I'm sure that along the way, you will discover many things. People, perhaps even something about yourself. Maybe. Now go on and leap into the world of Pokemon. We're gonna do that. We're gonna leap into this world and grasp all the Pokemon-ness. Now, my main goal whenever I play games like this is to, despite the exploration team's best efforts, the rare, oddly colored Pokemon eluded detection. The rumored red Gyarados failed to appear, even fleetingly to the crestfallen team, you know? That feels like something that would occur. That concludes our special report, Search for the Red Gyarados. Brought to you by Juvelife TV on the Nationwide Net. See you next week, same time, same channel. Oh man. Man, this game brings me back, like the music. Let me know if the music is too loud, but like, I can hear it, so I hope, like, hopefully I'm louder than the music. Turn it just a tiny bit down. There we go. Because I know I'll have to get quieter once my family will, like, go to bed, which is in like a couple hours. Man, this is so cute. Some people were annoyed that they decided to go with like the chibi look. Because like they'd gone and decided, like they'd gone a little less chibi with some of their more recent games, like Sword and Shield was a little less chibi. But I happen to enjoy when they keep it a little closer to the vest with some of these remakes. Like, some people liked the remake of Link's Awakening, like the look of it, whereas other people are just like, this sucks, why did they do this? Why didn't they go farther and like make it more like Breath of the Wild's look? I personally am fine with it. You know, I also like the little addition here of the of this. They had a different system back with the DS. I can't remember which it was. I think it was the GameCube. It might have been the GameCube. Because I think that was the most recent like home console. It was either that or they had like a DS lying around here. But I think it was a GameCube they had at the time. I still wonder about these moms letting these like 10-year-old kids like go off on their own. Ralph came calling for you a little while ago. Like they're just fine with like letting these 10-year-old kids go out there and battle what is essentially like dragons and monsters. Like, I don't know, my mom wouldn't have been this cool. She'd been like, sorry, you're never leaving the house, ever. Maybe it's different because they like live in the world of Pokemon and their parents probably, just maybe it's kind of like a rite of passage for their kids to be like shoved out of the nest. But not all the parents seem as cavalier about it, just like our mom. And we don't like have any interaction with her. I feel very badly for like the mom in this situation. I don't know what it is about, but he said it was an emergency. It's always got be an emergency with Ralph. Look at this, look how adorable that is. That is just adorableness. Aww. I still actually like this chibi style. I wish there was more to do in your house instead of it just being like, oh yeah, this is a loading zone entrance to just like be kicked out into the ethos. Don't know what she said to me just then. I wasn't paying any attention. You could essentially ignore your mother entirely in this thing. Technology just blows me away. I mean, now you can play with people around the world wirelessly. Oh my god, I remember this was back when things were just starting to be able to connect with the internet. Like, this was just around that window of like 2000, like the early 2000s was really when it started to take off. Because there was like this newfangled thing with like being able to connect with people farther away instead of like, because we had these little connector cables with our Game Boys, so you had to like sit next to each other and like connect with a cable between your systems in order to like connect to trade Pokemon. So I actually have one of these cables. It is not easy yet to, but I have a cable that I have to like connect my two Game Boys with. Because I had two Game Boys because my dad had one, so he let me borrow it to play Pokemon with, and then he stopped playing with it entirely because he only had like 2 games and he wasn't allowed to really take it with him when he like went off to his job because he like worked in the Navy, so they like for some reason he couldn't take it because he can't like charge it anywhere or anything like that. I mean, like, it's a bit of a pain to like take as many batteries as you'd need to just constantly replace the batteries, so he just didn't. So I ended up with the Game Boy. Like 2 Game Boys, so I'd like trade it with myself, and you had to use a cable to like connect it. It was totally a being bribed. All of this happened because most of the time I didn't get a ton of toys. I got like them at Christmas and then some at birthday, but you know how like some kids got like toys all the time? Mine was like I'd sometimes get like a random toy or like a Beanie Baby. That was usually about where things sat, which is fine. Like I had a happy childhood. I'm not complaining. I was an only child, so I was lucky to get what I did. But like then when the Game Boy stuff happened, it was 100% a bribe because we were moving countries and my parents knew I was pissed. So I'm still to this day convinced some of it was them bribing me to be happier during the trip. Of like, hey, you have a Game Boy and these cool games. I was like, I'd never owned my own like personalized system before. So I had one of those purple Game Boy Advances and then I got the DS years later. When I finally got a 3DS and all the racing games, all of that was bought myself as an adult. Once I went to college. Like, that was when I first started getting into buying a lot of my own gaming stuff again. It was when I became, like, 18. And, like, was at college. And it was like I had to save for it, so in order to get my DS, I actually had to sell a couple of games, which I still regret selling. I should have asked my mom to, like, give me some extra money and, like, paid her back for it. I still regret it. Anywho, my regrets aside, they say he was gone for 4 long years. Yeah, that seems about reasonable. These guys seem like the kind to like lose track of time and just like go off in the wilderness. Be like, we're just gonna collect a Pokemon. They strike me as those people. I do like how I think it was the Emerald was probably still my favorite for like the technology stuff, because every Pokemon game, they add new like toys, like gimmicks. So like in Emerald, there was like a thing where if you battled people, like on the map, you could, I think, detect where they were and then like go back to them because it would say when they were ready to battle again in that area. Like when they made the remake into like the Alpha Ruby, like Omega, I was like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, that one. When they made that, they like kept that gimmick, but it didn't I don't believe it made its way into the next games. It's like there's the digging thing in this one, which did not continue into any of the next games. Like, it completely disappeared. Every game has a gimmick. I don't know why every game needs to have a gimmick, while I know why, if it's a gimmick that's popular, they don't keep it. But whatever, I suppose that's a thing. I would have liked to be able to rebattle people though, and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, because there's like a limit of how much you can actually level up your Pokemon in that game, because of the fact you can't like rebattle people, and so that means there's a cap on how much money you can get in the game. So there's a cap on how much you can level up any Pokemon in the game. That's actually why I stopped playing, because I was like, terrific. I've reached a cap. I can't keep going, and I like needed to level up certain Pokemon, but I didn't want to waste Pokeballs on leveling up these Pokemon. It was a whole thing. I got stumped by a gym. I'll eventually get back around to it. Yeah, he probably did find some amazing Pokemon. Hey, little kitty. Listen, listen. I want a cute Pokemon. Don't we all? I'm sure she looks like the kind of kid to end up with like a Manaphy or like one of those like Jigglypuffs. Jigglypuffs are notoriously labeled in as the adorable type. It's true that wild Pokemon do attack people sometimes, however Pokemon also let you become friends with them. Yeah, but they only let you become friends with them after you've trapped them in a Pokeball and become reliant on you for food. So that is the greater question of, is it conditional? You're off to hang with Ralph again, right? You two sure are tight. How does he seem? He seems like the kind to be annoyed by that. I wonder who his pal is in town. Like, maybe he's friends with this girl. The brown-haired girl down here. Ralph was looking for you. Are they twins? I think he's home now. Why don't you go check it? Those two look like they're twins. That just occurs to me. Maybe they're brothers. Also, some of these one-room houses, there's no bedroom. Do they just, like, stay standing up? Where do they go to sleep? Ralph is always in a hurry, man. This guy is a moving tornado. I stand by the fact that he must have great stamina because he just like flies off at the drop of a hat. Oh hey, I'm going to the lake. You should come too and be quick about it. I'm finding you 1 million that currency if you're late. Yes, Ralph? What is it? Forgot something. Yeah, you'll do that if you're running up. Whenever I'm running late for something and I always like leave the house, once I reach my destination, I realize I've left something at home and I'm like, terrific. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I did come speaking to Ralph. Then he came running right back home. You just can't sit still. I mean, if he doesn't take after you, he's got to take after your like your husband, right? In theory. I better take my bag and guidebook too. Yeah, you should definitely take those things. Oh hey, Ralph. You're going to the lake? I'll be waiting on the road. It's... Why are you upping it? Like, do you know something I don't? And like, these guys have these huge bedrooms, right? Massive. Where are the parents sleeping? Like, I don't see a room for them. There's no second door. They don't sleep anywhere. Where do they sleep? This continues to be a problem I have. If you're gonna, like, how hard is it to make a second door? Look at this room. There's gotta be more, like, us and Ralph, we take the only bedroom. At this point, I would assume we have to share a room, right? If there's only one bedroom. Because they can't just be, like, not sleeping. Like, how hard is it to put a door in? Like, another door just in the wall and be like, hey, this is where they sleep. This is their room. You're just on the top floor. They're on the side floor. I mean, I think in Sword and Shield they make a second door. Yeah, I saw the... Like, I think they make a second door in like, Sword and Shield. Like, I'm pretty positive they had one to, like, at least give the illusion of a bedroom for their parents. I know this wasn't a concern I had as a child, because I was like, oh yeah, we have the big room. As an adult, I'm now like, where are they sleeping? I know in some, like, traditional Japanese homes, sometimes, like, when you go to, like, an onsen or something, sometimes there'll be, like, multiple beds in the same room. Like, one room with, like, multiple futons or something, or beds. Like, share one. I don't even see, like, a bed or a closet or anything to store bedding in. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, sometimes you, like, you'll take away, like, the dining set, like, move it away, it's like a table, and then, like, you just sleep near it. Don't see any of that either. Like, there's no place to store bedding. Do they just not sleep? Is that why she's so tired? Maybe she does. Maybe Ralph does take after her, and she just doesn't sleep. So, as a result... she's sluggish, and Ralph has all his energy, because he's the only one with a bed. I think I've broken this case wide open. Don't you? Like, don't you think I've broken this case wide open? You can tell it's been a while since I've, like, spoken with other people about my, like, wild Pokemon theories, because they're just, like, flying left, right, and center. Oh man, I'm just having, let's see. Anywho, so you know, Search for the Red Gyarados, the mysterious appearance of the furious Pokemon in a lake. That show got me thinking. I bet our local lake has a Pokemon like that in it too. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go find a Pokemon like that. You know, this lake, I'm pretty sure does have a Pokemon like that. From memory, I think. Can't remember which one. I do briefly remember, like, back in the day going and hunting for something in the lake. But it was just like, oh hey, look! There's a lake thing. I'm pretty sure you can, like, see... all the big lakes in this game have some kind of thing in them. What's going on? There's nothing out of the ordinary on the other side either. I may have been mistaken. Something appears to be different than it was before, but fine. It's enough that we've seen the lake. Lucas, we're leaving. Professor, you've been gone for 4 years now. I've been enjoying back in Sinnoh. There's one one thing I can say. There are many rare kinds of Pokemon in Sinnoh. The region should serve us very well in regard to our studies. Cool? I can't remember what his connection with Lucas is. I can't remember if they're related or if he's like an apprentice. Because it strikes me that every professor has to have apprentices, because the professors have to study somewhere, right? Do they study under another professor? Or do they just, like, study Pokemon on their own for so long until they, like, reach the point where people are like, oh, you're the professor, an expert in the field. Like, do they need funding? Where does their money come from? Do they publish? All these are greater questions to ask. Excuse me, let us pass, please. Like, is there a school for the studying of Pokemon? It feels like the world of Pokemon should have something like that in it, even though there isn't anything like it in the games. There might be something about it in, like, the show, because I've watched a bunch of the show. I own the show, but I haven't, like, watched all of it. I do know that, like, there's, like, a middle section where I don't think as many people watched it, but I don't know if that's just because of, like, those games weren't as popular. Because there was a couple of Pokemon games that were a little less popular than others. Dude, you just left your suitcase. Don't go into the tall grass, no problem. We'll be in there long enough for wild Pokemon to come out. You know, he says this, but I've sometimes been, like, trying to farm for a certain type of Pokemon, and I'll just, like, make one step, and it's like, kablam! Pokemon. What are we supposed to do with it? We can try to return it, but who were they? Heard them say, Professor? We're so doomed. Look at these birds. What's going on? And this is where our first theft of the game begins. We are essentially Team Rocket in this moment, taking Pokemon. Which one do you want then? Okay. Tiny little Turtwig. Nope. Chimchar. Nope. And this one is Piplup. Okay, now we're gonna go with Turtwig. So in my Diamond one, I have Chimchar. I'm gonna go with Turtwig in this one. Piplup for all intents and purposes, although I like plushies of Piplup, and I like Piplup in some of the TV shows, I've never been a fan of Piplup as, like, to own. Because you can get plenty of other water Pokemon, so it's not like you need it. Turtwig has some really cool powers, like, abilities later on. So I always personally prefer Turtwig and Chimchar, because, like, as a fire and an earth, like a grass one, it's like some of the games didn't have as many, like, fire or grass Pokemon as others. Like, different Pokemon have different percentages of them for some reason. So, you know, I've always had, like, paying attention to that as you go. It's like with I think it was Growlithe. No, Grookey, that's it. Grookey from Sword and Shield. There wasn't as many grass Pokemon as I expected early on. There's usually, when you start a game, there's either, like, I know in X and Y, once you got to, like, the second area, there was a bunch of, like, fighting and fire types, which, you know, there's always, like, an area which has a bunch of certain ones, so it's like you can finally get that type, and it means that in a couple of gyms, it can be really useful. They were other people's Pokemon, but we had to use them. Those people won't mind, will they, Ralph? Your logic. There you go, Lucas. You finally came back for the suitcase. Just in time for us to have already used them. Yep, we found the briefcase. It was Lucas who forgot it, of course. It's always the assistant. Yep, we've gone ahead and used it, Lucas. Sorry. That's what you get for leaving it here. We became the Team Rocket of this game. Well, you can explain to the professor as, hey, we had to borrow him to save our lives from, like, 2 wild birds. Professor's briefcase, so I'll take it, okay? Well, you don't want the Pokemon back? Fine with us keeping the Pokemon, Lucas? You don't want to take them with you? No? Yeah. I don't know. He says this, but those, like, Starmie things, unless you were using, like, just Growl constantly, like, they weren't doing too much of an impact to my, like, Turtwig. As far as I'm aware, they don't do much of an impact to the other two if you take them as starters. Because I have taken all of them out as a starter at one point or another. Yeah, he wants to spend time with them, but like, they're still not ours as of yet. They still belong to the professor. We still have to return them. Hey, it's those people. It's that old guy staring at us. Professor, you know he's a professor, Rowan. Ralph is just a complication. From Lucas that you used our Pokemon. Let me see them, please. Tartwig and Chimchar. Let's see. Okay. Going back to the lab. Cool. We'll just keep him. Bye, Rowan. Bye now. Yeah, no, we'll come by the lab. Bye, Lucas. You have fun. We'll just keep him here. You know. What was that craziness about? I mean, if he was angry, he could have just yelled at us or whatever. And didn't he want us back? That is the question mark. Yeah, we're gonna go. Oh man. Good old Ralph. What's up, dear? Wow, I can't believe that happened to you. I mean, you can't. Where else is there to go? Essentially, with this town, if you look at the map, there is the town, there is a bunch of wild grass around with Pokemon in it, which you have to pass through to get to any other town, and a lake, also with a bunch of wild grass around it, and a bunch of trees, which if we're allowed to wander through and it's not the game, I assume also have wild Pokemon in them. Where would we have gone that we wouldn't have gone into some kind of trouble with Pokemon? The logic in this. Yeah, he's probably the professor of our nearby town, aren't they always? I heard that he is well known for his studies of Pokemon. One would hope. I hear he's also quite intimidating. It might be the hair. You can tell a main character based on their hair. If they have spiky hair, they're main character. They have a name. In fact, there was a TV show I watched, with me and my friends watched years ago, called Ruby. You could tell the main characters in the game purely on the fact that they hadn't had the money to fully color in every character. So there was scenes where it was just the main characters colored in and like huge audiences of these black shadows. Cause they weren't worth giving them like images. So like you can go back, watch season 1 of this show, and it's just like an entire layout of these people who are just like shadowy figures. So this is, it's the epitome. It's like in an anime. If someone has crazy spiky hair, they've got a name, and they're not just like boy or like stranger. They're a main character of some kind of description. They're either the bad guy, they're a side bad guy, they're a main character, they're your future BFF or boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever they are a person to pay attention to. You need to properly explain why you had no choice but to use his Pokemon. Yeah, I'm sure he's a perfectly reasonable man. Don't worry, I'm sure he'll understand. This mom has logic. Like, it's not like there was no reason for us not to use them, and like return them, because you know they're like level 5. It's not, they didn't even level up. There's nothing wrong with it. So like in the event of like having, you know, because every professor has Pokemon that they give out to like locals who are starting out on their Pokemon journey, from what it seems, it's just like, okay, cool, so like they didn't level up or anything, so no harm, no foul for any future owner of the Pokemon. And it's the first Pokemon. It's all lining up. I'm glad they gave the running shoes early in this game though, because the walking speed was so slow in the early games before you get like the ability to like hold down B and run. And then I think they eventually just took it away, or so it was like, and you could like shift between them with the bike. Like one of the bikes in the games, you could shift like the power level to go like faster or slower. Like, a bunch of them had, like, shifting ones, so you didn't have to just keep holding down a button, but early ones, you had to, like, hold down the B button whenever you were moving to run. I think they removed that in this one, so that way you're just always running. I think it was something you still had to hold down, though, in the DS version originally. Those running shoes, you can get to faraway places much faster. Let me read the instruction. Tilt the left stick firmly and dash about faster than ever before. Push Put on the running shoes and blaze new trails of adventure. Well, isn't that just nifty? Yeah, that's nifty. Oh man. Woo! We're running. We've got the speed of the wind. Alright, we're going for it. Bye, Ralph's mom. Woo! You know what? Let's stop and say hey. Wild Pokemon lurk in tall grass. They can come bursting out at any time. So if you're wanting to battle wild Pokemon, just walk in tall grass. This is essentially like in Link's Awakening. There's one guy who's just like, if you want to access the map, press this button. Like, his entire existence is doing that. And then I remember watching the movie Wreck-It Ralph, and it was like the video game characters come to life. I want to see if there's anything over here. You know, because it's always like, if there's this area all the way up here, half the time there's like an item. But yeah, in Wreck-It Ralph, like, they all had like a set purpose. And it was just like, just because I'm the bad guy doesn't make me a bad guy. And that makes me think of like these games, where it's like, just because your purpose is to say like, this bit of dialogue forever doesn't mean that's your only purpose. Like, these guys don't even have names. Look at their silky smooth hair. They're not main characters. Your Pokemon's health, its HP is getting low. You should go home and take a rest. It's a wild Pokemon. Which one shall it be? Oh look, it's the bird. Hey Starly, we're gonna really have to get you. This Pokemon, along with, I'd say, probably the Zubat, are the ones we're probably gonna hear the most often as far as, like, moves go, as far as Pokemon go. I do like that in the newer games, I don't know if this was something in the older games, but I know this has been around for the past couple games, like, where it says, like, the move and, like, if it's effective or non-effective. So when you, like, used it, it would either be like, oh yeah, that was really effective, or like, that did absolutely nothing. I don't know how I feel, though, about, like, all of the Pokemon in your bag getting XP now from the beginning. Like, it was something you used to have to earn, so you had to, like, go out of your way to grind all the Pokemon, but I suppose they did that to try and streamline the game a bit, because they were worried people might, like, get bored, maybe? Did you know that a Yeah, Yes, thank you. Are you gonna give me a potion? Let me give you some potions. This lady, you gotta speak to her to get, like, free potions. That's it. That's her whole purpose. It's like, you stuffed up, here's a potion. These poor people. They just stand here in the hope that they meet someone who can tell them their entire purpose. Like, hey, we're here. Jump this ledge. You'll go down. Please come, the professor's waiting for you. Okay, let's do it. Let's go speak with the professor. This is our Pokemon research hub. Ralph, come on, man. This feels like when you do have that, like, there's an ice dungeon in, I think it's Sapphire, and you have to, like, slide along as, like, a puzzle thing. Ralph feels like the kind of dude who he would run so fast, he would just, like, fly up and out and onto the wall above it and be like, oh, that's how you get there. He feels like that dude. Like, ice wouldn't stop him. He'd run the same speed no matter what. He's not as scary as he is, totally. Bye, Ralph. Okay, cool. See ya. He is in a rush. Yeah, we're gonna go in. We're gonna ignore the crazy of Ralph. The thing is, as far as, like, most of the games have, like, an enemy or, like, a character who is supposed to be, like, you know, your competitor. I think ours is Ralph as far as things go in this game. I remember in the Sword and Shield one, I was a little let down by who our, like, person was, because they were just too enthusiastic about us doing well. And, like, you'd think that considering who their brother was, they'd be a bit more, like, of a competition, because half the games, they'll give them the one, there was one of them where it was like they'd take the Pokemon that you were weaker to as their starter, and so their Pokemon would be designed to be a bit tougher to fight against, like a bit more of a challenge. But then, like, after that, a bunch of the ones taken, it was like the weaker one again, and I just don't get it. I don't get why. I would prefer it to be more of a challenge, personally. If you're gonna like make them like your enemy, like why wouldn't they choose the one that's gonna be more of a challenge? Have a look away, Rowan. You do that. And you can see he's holding the briefcase here, so why wasn't he holding it at the lake? Yeah, I mean, I've fed it nothing, I've kept it in its Pokeball all night. Why wouldn't the Pokemon be happy? Thank you for giving me a Pokemon as a gift. I appreciate it so much. Now that it's yours, would you like David's nickname? Now, we're gonna talk about the nicknames I gave the Pokemon when I was a kid. Some of the names were just awful. There was like Turdy, there was Monkey, I gave it Char to Chimchar, Piplup was Penguin. There was like a variety of really bad names. I still cringe internally about some of the names I gave to these Pokemon. Thankfully, all my games like were stolen when I was younger or disappeared. So I don't have any of those early ones to like feel a way about. All I have is Diamond and Pearl. I refuse to ever reset Diamond. I've reset Pearl a number of times because it was always the one that I had to like reset and trade over to Diamond with. We're not gonna make the same mistakes again. I'm not giving any nicknames. The only way I'm giving a nickname is like if someone gifts a bunch of something, I'll let them name my next Pokemon. That's how it'll go. But as far as anything else, I'm not personally naming the nickname, like naming these Pokemon. I already battled very well, despite it. Yeah, no, it was definitely my first time. I've never battled in a Pokemon battle before, ever. What are you talking about? What do you mean? I couldn't possibly be an experienced Pokemon player? Hilarious. And from what I can see, there's a growing bond between you and that Pokemon, though it is still young. That's why I like to entrust you with Turtwig. Okay, cool. I'm ever glad you're kind towards Pokemon. You know, this makes me think back to the days of, like, Ash with, like, Charizard, like Charmander that became Charizard, and he just, like, never trained it. He was such a disaster with Charmander. Like, he took him in, he was so kind to him in the beginning, and then he, like, never trained him again ever, and, like, he saw what happened. I was hoping he'd learn a lesson from it, but in the later Pokemon ones, he doesn't seem to, like, change at all going forward. I just don't entirely get it. Because, you know, you always looked at his, like, bad guy, like Gary, who was, like, really up himself, but he actually put in a ton of work. He put in a ton of effort, so I'm very glad that Ash, even though he did well in the Pokemon competition, I don't believe he won anything. Like, he still got knocked out from memory. Because he just didn't have, like, he didn't put in as much work as he should have. I did like how in later ones, he did appear to put more effort into training his Pokemon, like later seasons. So, because he was only 10, I will give him credit of that. Yeah, no one wants to think about, like, people poorly treating Pokemon. That's why I always got, like, annoyed at the episode where Ash traded away his, I think it was Caterpie, or one of his Pokemon, he, like, traded it away for a different Pokemon, because he didn't want to, like, train it, he wanted to get a more powerful one. It just wasn't cool, because you don't know if that guy, like, that person treated Pokemon well or not. Like, we just don't know. They could have been awful towards Pokemon, and you're just giving them your Pokemon. Let's move on to the main topic. Something... $5 says that what he wants to do is give us a Pokedex, because he wants us to get data for him, because he can't do it all himself. Who's gonna bet with me? Yeah, no, this is definitely the one. This is definitely his goals. There we go. That's what it is. Knew it. Called it. Who could have seen it coming out of a professor in a Pokemon game? Them wanting us to help them gather data. Yep. I trust you with this Pokedex. Will you use it to record data on the Pokemon? Yeah, sure, we'll do it. Good answer. I always wonder what he'll say with no. I think with no, they just give it to you anyways, of like, well, maybe hold on to it and like think about it. You never know. Maybe you'll change your mind. Automatically report data on every kind of Pokemon you encounter. Ask you go anywhere and meet every kind of Pokemon. The problem I always have with it, so like Ash would get a ton of Pokemon whenever he spoke to the Pokedex for Pokemon, like that he came across. But if we only run across it but we don't catch it, like nothing changes. Absolutely nothing. When you walked up Route 201 with your Pokemon, what did you feel? I've lived for 60 long years. Even now I get a thrill when I'm with a Pokemon. Now you should know that there are countless Pokemon in this world. Really? There are? That means there are just as many thrills waiting for you there. Now go. Your grand adventure begins right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go and fill the Pokedex pages too. Makes us comrades working towards the same goal. Okay, Lucas. I'll teach you stuff later, okay? Bye, Lucas. Oh man, the thrill. We are now Pokemon adventurers. Let's just go snoop and poke in his stuff. So he has a kitchen. He has a computer thing. Where does he sleep? Tell me this doesn't look exactly like the item in Animal Crossing. Tell me this doesn't look like that cabinet that we now have. Because it's 100% looks like that cabinet. Professor Rowan invented a new Pokedex. From the Kanto we have Oak to thank. Oak is our savior. Happy to assist you on your quest for the professor. Sure we can count on you. Aha! So this is Lucas's dad. Did I make this? No, I don't think that's Lucas's mom. Oh, we've met Lucas's dad. I forgot that Lucas's dad like worked with Professor Rowan. We're gonna learn how to catch a Pokemon. Or is that later? Because I remember in Ruby and Sapphire, I'd be like, we go out, and then they do like this thing of like, if it's moving rapidly, like the grass thing. Because this was like the beginning of like using the sneak feature on the game, where you to like move, creep slowly. I don't know if that was, I'm pretty sure that wasn't in this one, like it didn't continue. And it was only in like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It wasn't in the original. It was like a new feature of the DS ones. Pretty sure that there wasn't a thing of them like teaching us how to catch Pokemon in this one, but I know there was in the past one. I also, the only time the 3D feature was any good in the DS was when you were looking at buildings. The rest of the time it was almost entirely pointless. The only thing that showed up 3D inside these town, like inside the game, was like the town. It looked really cool in 3D, so whenever it came into a town, I'd turn the 3D on. And then I'd just turn it off. I'd be like, cool, yeah, no, this is great. And why am I not reading the dialogue? Here's why. I've seen this dialogue in every Pokemon game under the sun. Here, this is the Pokemon. They all have a blue lid. Here's the red thing, and you go here to heal your Pokemon. And in every single city, there should be one of each of these two things. Except maybe a town where there's a big shopping center, and then they may build them into the shopping center. That's exactly what you know. It's the same in every Pokemon game ever. It will never change. It will never be any different. If you were to put these two buildings in front of me, anywhere. I think it's on purpose, though. I think they do it intentionally of like, this is how you identify where things are. Town of Sand. Pretty sure... Oh yeah, this is how we go to that like water. Antidote. This is like a route we can't go down yet. Because we need like the ability to go in water. It is a future goal. Lucas's house. The thing you have, it's Pokedex. Dude, why don't you go ask the professor? Ask him and see if he'll give you a Pokemon. You never know. It strikes me as a thing he'd do. Yeah, I know. Like, you don't want your Pokemon to lose HP and pass out. Yep, there's the guy telling you about EXP. Yep, we'll definitely do that. Oh, that reminds me. Aha! The ever-continuing, you should go tell your mom what you're doing. I mean, to be fair, we are technically 10-year-olds. Technically. And our button is save. Shall we save the adventure? We're gonna save the adventure. back in the good old days, we had like the start and select buttons, and you had to like press start because that was your menu. I think it was the one for saving. So like every game has different ones, and I do personally love that. Here, now I can take a break. Oh wow. Help me get stronger by them about. The question is, do I have any money? In some of these we had money. We have 8,000. We're rolling it. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna buy Pokeballs. Because we need to catch at least one of those bird things. There we are. May I help you? I'm here to buy. Pokeballs. Screw potions. Okay, this is an inconvenient location, I've decided, because everything seems to be in this lower corner. Okay, I can't unlock that. Unlock this. Okay. I'm just moving myself up here. Cool. I'll be over. We're gonna do about here. Cool. Great. Just for today. Because I need to be able to see, like, the money. We're getting 40. That's right. Thank you. Delightful. See, back in the day, we had to buy these 10 at a time to get the 4 Premier Balls. So you had to go like 10 Pokeballs. Oh, here's a Premier Ball. Because if you bought 40 Pokeballs at once, you get 1 Premier Ball. But now it's like, oh, you bought 40 balls? Here's 4 Premier Balls. It couldn't have been more useful and updated. Because it was such a pain in the butt. Because I figured it out at one point. So I was like, I only bought 10. And then I bought another 10 when I went back in. Because I like left and came back. And it was just like, and I was like, is this really a thing? So I tested it out. And I did like in increments. And it would only give me like 1 after 10. So I like used to buy it 10 at a time. It took me forever to do it. But I did it. And it gave me extra Premier Balls. Yeah. Good. I'm very happy for you and all your Pokeballs. Me, on the other hand, I am a sucker for not doing that and just running back to this little place here whenever I need it. The local club is located at the top floor. You can buy all sorts of fun stuff with friends. Blah blah blah. Yeah, we'll talk about friendship later. And hand her your Pokemon. Yeah, okay. Your entire existence is that. You see the PC? And here you are telling me about how to use this Pokemon thing. We're working underground right now. Yeah, that's something I think you only unlock after a certain, like, 1. And this is the online center, and it has not changed. They recreated it for us today. In Sun and Moons was probably one of my favorites in this respect, in that, like, when you went online, it like showed all these other people that were online, and you could talk to the little figurines of other people online in this area. They weren't necessarily like someone you could speak with, but you could, like, people who were looking for challenges or battles, and they just popped up. I really liked it. But yeah, I used to live in that top area because whenever I wanted to trade something with myself, between like devices, because I had a DS, it broke. Thankfully I managed to get a second one. Hooray for me. So I had my first one that was used primarily just for trading. Yeah, back in the days before the home storage, we could like just deposit it into the home storage and be like, oh look, she's just stored there. Because like every single Pokemon version has like two versions. Arceus is probably going to be the first one, because even though people are like, oh yeah, what about Platinum and Emerald? Well, Platinum and Emerald are technically like the third version, because it's kind of like where the original came in like red, blue, and green, and only green was sold overseas. Like, you can't get green outside like Japan and some of the Asian countries. You'd only get red and blue, and in certain countries I think they only did like red and green, or blue and green, a couple of them. Regardless of this, Platinum, oh yeah, and then there was Yellow as a standalone where the starter was Pikachu as well, that was like a special in its own, hence why they did like Pikachu and Eevee when they did the remake of Let's Go. But Then you had like Platinum and Emerald, which are kind of like sequels of like, they have the original game, but they've like added stuff to them that wasn't in the originals. Pokeball. These earlier ones are a little easier to catch most of the time. Most of the time you just gotta get them to like half health and then like chuck a Pokeball at them and they're like, oh my god, we're caught! It is rare to find one of these that won't just take a Pokeball and be like, oh look, we're here! We are one with you! And just like accept it. If there were like random ones that would, most are like ones that like flee, like Ralts or Abra. All the psychic ones are big chickens. Essentially, that is the greater lesson in this, is that they are massive chickens. Is there anything else in here besides Starly? I bet the only thing in here is these silly birds. I do not feel like just facing birds. We're gonna see if there's a second Pokemon. We're gonna give one more try. Is there anything else in here besides these birds? Oh no. Okay, look, we've tried, we've failed, we have come to the decision that the only thing nearing our town is these silly birds. Because there's always something else that's around, you know, like some kind of dog-looking character, like a Bidoof, or like some kind of hamster-looking thing. Rat. There's usually a lot of rats floating around. Boop, 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 we're going home. Hey Mom, I'm coming here to tell you we're going. I'm running away with the Pokemon. Yeah, we're doing fine. Take a quick rest. Yeah, we're doing that. Thank you, Mom. Thanks so much. Love you too. What's up? Yeah, we're gonna do something huge. We're going off into the world. Really? Guidebook. Delightful. Yep, we're gonna use the guidebook. Thank you so much. It will come in useful. I will probably never use it ever. You have your Pokemon. Wish I could go and say, why don't you go out there, Mom? Like, what are you waiting for? The world is your oyster. Your kids left the nest. You don't need to stay here. Just go on an adventure. You're a grown. If a 10-year-old child can make it in this world, so can you. I'd like to see it. Okay. Look, guidebook. The thing we will never use. Ralph's. See, she is speedy. You can tell this woman just got a full night's sleep because Ralph was away, so she got to sleep. So that's how she got here so speedily. No, he's not. Oh, then he must have left already. What to do? He just yelled at his mom. Like, I bet he just opened the door, yelled, Mom, I'm going on an adventure, kapoof, and then, like, disappeared. That feels like a Ralph move. He just did that to his mom and ran for it. Yeah, fine. If I can catch him, I will deliver him this. Yeah, cool. I'll take it to Ralph. Yeah, we obtained the parcel. We will give this to the Ralphinator. Yeah. Bye, Ralph's mom. Bye, my mother. We'll go to Jubilee. Yep, we'll take it to Ralph. It's gonna be fine. Bye, guys. Look, our speedy gun. Yep. What am I forgetting? Tell me. I gained a hat. It's alright. Whole time. Didn't have a hat. She's giving me a hat. This is gonna do nothing about the cold of winter in this game. This will do absolutely nothing. But fine. Let's do it. Let's go off with our hat. Oh boy. I will never stop laughing about these parents who are like, you know what you need? You need a hat. And then it does nothing. These birds. These birds are gonna be the death of me. Alright, you know what? We got this. We are running away from you. Because I don't need to fight you. Because you're gonna do nothing for me. What are we gonna do? Get half a level? No. Boop, boop, boopity boop. Did I get more money? Look, trainer card. Okay. So this was a thing way back when. It's not a thing here, but it was back in the day. When you looked at your badges, you could go over them and like shine them up, so because there's like the two screens, so you could like go onto the bottom one and just like squeegee it until it like got all sparkly and shiny. And that's probably not gonna be a thing in here, which is fine, but I used to like spend so much time just like shining up these badges after I got them. I was a sucker for it, really and truly. I was a true sucker. We're gonna save your progress. Thank you. Okay. This is the lesson where we learn how to catch a Pokemon. You know, we haven't caught any Pokemon yet, so we need to be told how to catch a Pokemon. So we're gonna do it now. Thank you, Lucas. Demonstrate it for me in the most boring way possible. Look, it's a Bidoof. I recently watched a video which was like the standing up of the Bidoof from the Pokemon channel. It was adorable. It was like all these Bidoofs didn't appreciate Bidoof, so he like went on his own and was like trying to prove himself because he like accidentally nearly killed his entire like Bidoof collective. And he got like attacked by birds. He begged a Pokemon trainer to take him. He did. And then the Pokemon trainer and him like slowly warmed up to each other. And finally he like saved the day in this big Pokemon fight against like a big ass Pokemon thing, because logic does not apply in the same way in the TV show. So you'll see like in the game, you'll see these two ones going up against each other. There isn't like a way for like the smaller one to be like, you know what? I'm gonna like beat the odds and be like even better unless its stats are terrific. Yeah, you could've, you should've, you didn't. Here we are, Lucas. You caught a Bidoof, and I am very happy for you and all of your Bidoofy needs. Yep. Thank you. I appreciate you giving me some Pokeballs, because I didn't have any. Ishtosh, me? Go and buy a ton of Pokeballs first up? You gotta be crazy. Yeah, I know. If I go out in the wild grass, I'll stand a much better chance at finding Pokemon that aren't Starly. Come on, here for me. You can do it. Don't be a bird. Yeah, it's a Sphinx. It's not a bird. We have achieved glory. I really like these ones. I'm pretty sure that I used, way back when, the Sphinx I caught ended up being one of my main Pokemon for like the majority of the game. Almost everyone that I caught early on, I only caught other Pokemon for like the Pokedex half of the time. I traded out random ones whenever there's like specific fights. Wait a minute, I forgot. Pokeball. This was the most useful thing they added in of like, do you want to use the last item you used again? Yeah, of course I do. What are you talking about? Use anything else besides a Pokeball. Pish Tosh. Oh look, I caught a Sphinx. Hooray! Okay, Sphinx's data was added to the Pokedex. Great. We are not going to name Sphinx, because you want to know what I called my first one? Sphinxy. Entirely questionable. Yeah, cool. Did that. We encountered a Kricketot! And we're gonna catch everything we can. Something I did like was, in Sapphire and Ruby, the, like, remake, when you looked at a map, it would actually show you, like, stars for each area of, like, how many of the Pokemon for that area you'd caught. And, like, which ones you still had left to get for that area. Because, like, X, E... Do I want to hit it one more time? We're gonna hit it one more time. So I usually try and get it to like yellow health before I catch it. I do remember seeing this like story from someone once of like they had a friend who like attacked like Rayquaza once, threw a Pokeball, caught it, and then as an adult replayed the same game, and then like it took them like 3 hours to catch a Rayquaza. It was just like, it's pure random luck. Like, it's all predetermined of like, are you gonna catch it? Are you not gonna catch it? Who knows? Could be, could not. Hey, Cricktot. No, we will not be giving you a nickname. Thank you. I believe my first time catching the Cricktot, I just called it Cricket. Or, I think it was like Jiminy. It was either Jiminy or Cricket. Because I was like, oh yeah, that's comical. To be fair, way back in the day, there was nothing like social media, so when you named your Pokemon this stuff, the only time you had to deal with shame for the names you had named it was when you fought other people in battle. Or when you traded with people and you're like, hey, do you want to trade it so it can level up? Like evolve? Because there's certain Pokemon you can only get if you like evolve them by like trading them with another person. And it was just like, the struggle is real. The struggle of the fact I named it this thing is real because people be like, why did you do this to your Pokemon? You'd be like, good question. That is a good question why I named it this thing. I didn't think anyone would ever see it. And the other problem was like, if you named it something and then traded it, you couldn't change it if it was from someone else. So if someone named their like Pokemon like Horsey, like if you got like a horse Pokemon and they named it like Horsey or Horsey Pie, or like they got a bunny looking thing and it was called Bun Bun, you were stuck with that name. Now I'm giving this as an example because there is some worse names out there and I have seen them, but this was like the names. You couldn't change them. You were stuck with it. So if you're like, oh yeah, I really want this Pokemon, and then your friend was like, oh, you do? And they just named the Pokemon like Dumbass and like traded it to you, like you were stuck with Dumbass for like ever. Or until you like got an egg from that Pokemon and you could just be like, bye now, capice, and you'd like release it into the ethos. So I was always a little more sensitive about naming things. To be fair, I only ever traded with myself. Or on the rare occasion I ran across someone who's like, oh hey, you wanna like do a thing and trade it because I need like this Pokemon to evolve to something else and so I have to trade it, and I was like, oh okay, fine, I'll help you out, and I would like trade one. It was basically the only time ever. And I had to just make sure there was nothing in its items because I had people like randomly take their item, and I was just like, no, you're gonna get a useless one, so in case I never get it back, it doesn't matter. So I had like a collection of Bidoofs that I would use to trade. And I like named them, so I knew which Bidoof I was getting back. It was like Bidoof 1, Bidoof 2, and it was like, why do I have a Pokemon called Bidoof like 45? And it's like, why indeed? Why did I have 45 Bidoofs I caught? That is the internal question. It's because someone didn't give me back a bunch of Bidoof. That's what happened. They thought it'd be funny to send me back something else. So as a result, I've suffered through re-catching Bidoofs. Not very effective. So leafage is not effective, apparently. Do I want to try it anyways? No. We can do it. We can power through it. So nothing else I have is a higher level, I don't think. I think Sphinxie is probably the closest. As someone who, on a basis, I almost never use potions. Like, they actually played an entire game once without using potions. Now, I'm almost tempted to say we're gonna do the same with this, except in the final battles. So I think the exception for using potions, if I make that a rule, is going to be in 2 instances. So it's going to be against the Elite Four, I'd say it's an exception, and catching any legendaries. Those are the 2 exceptions, because legendaries are a pain in the butt to catch on the best of times. So I think we're going to just see if we can do one without, like, using potions. And, like, the exception is in those 2 instances. And when I say Elite Four, I also mean the path to the Elite Four, like the actual pathway to it, because half the time when you go to Elite Fours, I can't remember if it's in this one, you have to go through this huge labyrinth to get there, and getting in and out of that place is a pain in the ass. So I think that's going to be the exceptions, like the pathway to the Elite Four, the actual Elite Four, and the legendary Pokemon. are the only 3 places that I'm going to use potions in this game. I'm not going to use any potions for the rest of this game. You watch, we're going to see how successful I am. So that is the greater challenge. See how long I can go without having to, like, use it. Because those are the probably 3 of the last things we do in this game. Oh, come on. Earthquake's at half health. Basically everything's lower than that. Alright. We can do it. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. A trainer. How shocking. Last Natalie! It's a Bidoof. Oh, Bidoofs look adorable. They're like half bear, half beaver. Battle! Leafage! Less effective? Less effective my foot? What? Just... no! It just said like... Did it seriously just say less effective? Yeah, we're gonna move you, because you're covering up part of the thing. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Sure, it said less, like, no, not as effective originally. Dude, everything leveled up. Perfect. Starly finally learned quick attack. Oh man. I wonder if they changed it, because they changed it in Sun and Moon and Star, like, not the one, Sword and Shield, where, like, the HP moves you didn't have to have, like, the Pokemon on you. I'm gonna change in Starly, because why not? I also believe, like, whenever you level up, it, like, regains full health in this one. A couple of the games, like, when you level up, you only got back, like, a little bit of hit points. Like, you didn't fully heal up again. I remember this one is one of the ones where you still gain back your hit points. I think it is. I think it's one where you gain back, like, a full level, like, health versus some of the others. But yeah, I used to, like, base my Pokemon in some of the earlier games based on those moves. Because you had to. You had to have Pokemon that were both effective and could have the HP moves you needed for whatever area you were going through. Because, like, what if you were in the middle of a mine, right? And suddenly you needed Rock Smash and your Pokemon didn't have Rock Smash. It was either A, teach the Pokemon Rock Smash on the fly and bye-bye to whatever move it had, or B, like, have the Pokemon with Rock Smash on it originally. So I had, like, one Pokemon, Mudkip, in, like, Sapphire and Ruby, which was my main one. It had, like, all of these moves already established. So it had Rock Smash, it had all of them built into itself. They changed, I think, in some of the later ones, because people were like, oh my god, why do I need this Pokemon on me? It, like, restricted the Pokemon people would carry as, like, a basis. Like, generally restricted which ones people would take. Half the time you're, like, you'd find people with a lot of the same ones whenever you ran into them, because those were the Pokemon that could use those that you got easily. And it wasn't until much later on you'd find people with different ones. Logan! Youngster Logan, Svedat Sphinx. This was originally how I found out this Pokemon was in this area, because, like, most of the time when you fight them, the Pokemon either is usually in the area. That reminds me, did mine come with that? Because everyone, like, always has one. Sphinx had rivalry, becomes competitive and deals more damage to Pokemon of the same gender, but deals less to Pokemon of the opposite. Oh, hell no. We're gonna find another Sphinx. I liked the Intimidate ability I had when I had mine originally. So we are gonna hunt one down. Because Intimidate is a very useful. We're gonna use Leafage. Oh look, it was effective. Gosh darn. You're going down, youngster Logan. Face it. So another thing I've been doing like recently was I was trying to read through all of Jane Austen's books. For anyone who has tried or read any of them, most of them people only know like Pride and Prejudice, because it's like the main commonly known one of her. In fact, so well so that I had someone at work who was like, they knew Pride and Prejudice, had heard the name Jane Austen, did not in fact know that she's been dead for 200 years. They're like, oh, is she dead? And I was like, died in 1817, so probably deceased, yeah. So she's been dead a good long time. But most people know like Emma, Pride and Prejudice, and that's usually maybe Sense and Sensibility or Persuasion, maybe. If you're like outside like book communities and you don't read a lot of classic books and you focus more on like fantasy or sci-fi or horror, like on it, basically if you don't know a lot of classic books, you usually don't know all of her works. You may have heard of a couple of them thanks to like movies. Yeah, it's a Sphinx. Okay, what ability do you have? Should know if it's Intimidate. Ah! Sorry. It's victories. That is the sound of victory. Alright. This is gonna be the one we catch. I'll be very sad if suddenly you decide to, like, knock this one out on its ass. Haha. Yeah, our defense fell. I can live with this. Oop. Ah, you did not die. Next. Use. Capture. Chink. Do. And this is why we don't name them, because then it gives ones that suck a higher sense of worth. Bidoof grew to level 5. Great! Defensive. I swear, these like defensive moves, I get rid of most of them, like, when I get a chance. That was actually one of the things I used, like getting, like when you had to do mandatory like HP. Alright, we'll swap you two around just for the minute. We're gonna swap you in. What did I move you with? Did I seriously move you all the way up there? I did not mean to do that. This was not intentional. Swap these. Boop. Okay, cool. Glad we did that. Do. Ah! I just want to get the thingy. No! But yeah, so I tried to move my way through them, because I've been attempting to finish these books for the past, like, 2 years. I started trying this in, like, end of 2019. So it's been a good 2.5 years since I started trying to read my way through all these books. Now, the first one was Emma, because I was trying to read them in a specific order of, like, the way that Jane Austen Book Club read the books, the same order. Did not get very far. Emma, it took me a while to read it. Mansfield Park kicked my ass. I stopped reading entirely for like 6 months because I just couldn't deal with it. So it burned me out entirely from reading. And then like, yeah, I just stopped reading for some unbeknownst reason of like burnout. Finally got back into it, but it took me so much effort to read it because I hated a lot of the characters because they were stupid. In the end, I was very happy with the ending, kinda. I was kinda happy with the ending. The characters I didn't like got their comeuppance, so hooray. But I've come to realize that I don't enjoy some of the characters in her books because they're just suck. The way they're written, I'm sure they were more understandable at the time. But basically, one of the characters in the progress of 2 pages of text went from like agreeing to help out his half-siblings as the dying wish of his father to like entirely cutting them out of helping them at all. Like, he was gonna give each of his sisters £1,000, right? Because they like lived on the interest of this money, and they had 1,000 as after his death. So they were all like, they had like 2,000, I think, after his death. So they're gonna have £3,000 to live on the interest of for the rest of their lives until they got married, and whoever they married, they would like live on that income with them, or whatever their shared income was. Hooray! Instead, he decided, instead of this, to not give him any money at all, because his 3-year-old child would grow to hate his aunts, because apparently that's a thing. Like he didn't want to encourage like familial affection of any kind with this. So like, you know, thinking, oh hey, I'm gonna pay money to their mother for the remainder of her life, right? And then he was like, maybe she'll live for too long and I'll be indebted to pay her this money for like 15 years or something. Because you'd hate to do that. Changed his mind about that and was like, you know what, his final agreement was that like if they moved somewhere and it wasn't an inconvenience to him and his partner, his wife, he would help them to move and like maybe get some furniture. But because they already had a bunch of stuff from like before she married, and when like stuff that they were taking from the house, like stuff that belonged to them, right? Stuff that was theirs, that they'd come into the marriage with, like his mother had come into the marriage with. How dare they? And like they couldn't possibly have the use for some of it. Like why wouldn't they just leave it behind? They decided to take even more from them. And I just I hate them. I hated them so much. I had to stop reading because they're in a bunch of the chapters, and it like in the story it says like these people are taken in by like kindly relatives. I'm hoping they don't mean these people, because they ain't kind. They're awful. So I'm just like, we're 4 chapters in to this medium-sized book. I couldn't take it anymore, so I had to switch books. So I switched to The Martian, because honestly, I love that book. It makes me laugh at the best of times. Because dear God. You already have 6? There's a train at school. Check it out. I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I've switched books entirely. I'm gonna circle back to Jane Austen's books. I plan to make a video out of it, like how it took me 3 years to read every Jane Austen book, because I couldn't succeed at reading it. It's a plan I have. Oh boy. I just failed so badly at trying to read through these books. They killed me. It was just not good. So yeah, they broke me. They broke me entirely. I eventually read Mansfield Park, got to the end of it, then I had to read Northanger Abbey. It was okay. So Northanger Abbey was apparently her first ever book she wrote, so it was the first one she wrote, but it wasn't published for years. Because she sold it off and then had to buy it back, because the person the printing company she sold it to never published it. So she took it back, edited it. You can tell the parts that I think you can tell the parts that have been edited, and then re-released it. Finally released it on her own. Because by this point she'd written and published Pride and Prejudice and Emma, who were both very popular, proven by the fact that those are probably 2 of the best well-known, and have been made into the most versions of movies. So yeah, that was the progression of that. And I finally reached, what's the one I'm at? Sense and Sensibility? I thought I'd read it. Haven't. I'd read Persuasion. So I know a bunch of my Pokemon. My little verse. Yeah, no, I don't need to visit the trainer school. It's fine, I'll visit them. What? Can't go in here? I always try and go in this place. It's like the GWS isn't ready. I don't even remember what this is. I don't remember if I had access to this way back when. I remember there was some area that you had to like finish to a certain part in the game, and then I just never came back to it because I was like, I don't really need to. So I didn't. I think that's what that is. So I don't remember what it is because I never bothered with it. I think that's the thing I'm remembering. Okay. Smart enough to use items they're holding. They won't know what to do with human-made items like potions. Yeah, I don't blame them. Even I don't know what to do with potions and antidotes. You should look up topics you're not familiar with. I will do just that. Hey Ralph, found you. I swear to God, Ralph, have you run away again? Oh, it's the trainer's job to avoid having their precious Pokemon hurt in battle, right? I'm delivering the parcel. Take it. Are there two? Well, there's two in the parcel, Ralph, because you're sharing one with me. Your mom was considerate enough to give you multiple town maps showing this game. This is the point at which we get a map, because we're not meant to have a map before this, for whatever reason. Go ahead, run away now. That's your MO. Bye, Ralph. Nice to see you. I'm pretty sure my Pokemon need more health. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go heal Pokemon, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna kick these two trainers' butts. Because that's what we're gonna do. Earthquake, water. You know, this is like rock, paper, scissors. Essentially, the typing is almost entirely like rock, paper, scissors, and you're like, oh, there's more things than that. Well, there's also rock, paper, scissors, like lizard something Spock. That one. It's exactly the same thing. Nothing about it is different. Oh look, oh really, I can trade with other people upstairs? Yeah, I know. This is... Yep, they are. That is just downright shocking. I can catch more Pokemon? Oh yeah, so I started reading The Martian, and like, I've read it before. I've read it multiple times before. It still gets me. There's like this one part in it where they've discovered Mark Watney's still trapped on, like, he's still trapped on Mars, he's still alive, and they're like, we can't get a hold of him, so we can't tell him that, like, you know, we know he's there. We can't tell him this. Someone's PC. Back in the day, you had to choose whether or not you wanted to deposit or release these Pokemon. So you had to be like, I'm gonna deposit, and like then you'd have to like back out and be like, I'm gonna take out. So you had to, it was such a process. I'm glad that now you can just do it all in one. I think it's from the days when they like changed it in Sword and Shield so you could just access on the field, which is kind of a cheat code. Not even gonna lie, makes it a little easy. But yeah, so there's a part where he's just like, I wonder what he's thinking about right now. And it's just like, why can Aquaman control whales? Like, whales are mammals. It makes no sense. And it just cracks me up every single time. Like, what am I meant to do with that? Why wouldn't I, like, have a breakdown of, like, oh my god, proportions? You're challenged by school kid Harrison. We're gonna take him down. He's going down. Ah, Abra. The greatest chicken of the Pokemon world. These things just run away no matter what in the wild. I just can't. Oh yeah, that hurt. That hit me right in here. No. Whew. Geckos are not super useful in my opinion. They're cute, they're adorable, but they're huge chickens, and half the time the only use is to evolve them into their like evolutionary forms, because their higher evolved ones are super useful when it comes to psychic types, if you like using psychic type Pokemon. Which it's never really been my thing, like using psychic type Pokemon. My thing has always been a preference towards like fire, dragon, water, you know, the popular kinds. I also really like grass Pokemon. I've used a bunch of grass Pokemon in the past. I don't know what it is. I really like the grass ones. Yeah, sure, we can battle, and I will also kick your ass, because that is what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be victory. Victory shall be ours. We're gonna take out Christine and her Abra, because these Abras are dumb. Leafage, because that was useful last time. Yeah, use Charge Beam, go ahead. Take it. It's not very effective. It isn't. Oh good, it was a critical hit, so that's the critical hit version of that. Great. I felt that one right in my core, of like, oh look, the critical hit version of your attack did absolutely nothing. It did literally nothing, but, you know, hooray. I don't know what to do with these kids. I feel bad because they've got to be younger than like 10, right? Because this looks like a primary school, the trainer school. Because it's like pre the ability to get Pokemon at 10, right? Like, or get out and go into the ethos. So it's gotta be somewhere younger than that, right? Studying a lot can't help you. This reminds me of the episode in the original Pokemon series where they're actually like, their main goal is like studying, and so they use this machine to study. And then like, they like do a battle against these other kids, and they think that because these Pokemon use specific moves in the wild, that like it'll be super effective or like super ineffective, and then they like kick their ass because like a simulation isn't like actual Pokemon. And I couldn't stop laughing because I'm like, I wonder if that's the same with ours if we had them in real life versus in this game. Hello, Mustache Man. I think this is where we start hunting for the Poketech Watch, because I think we're not allowed to leave this city without a Poketech Watch, which means we have to find a bunch of clowns. Okay, yeah, cool, we're gonna go find all the clowns. Clown number 1. You are. Let's roll out a question. Does a Pokemon grow by defeating others and gaining XP points? It does! Ding ding, you're absolutely correct. It does. Even change in different Pokemon through evolution. Coupon 1. Coupon and the key items pocket. Delightful. Now, the problem isn't getting the coupons, it is me remembering where we need to go after we get the coupons. Scuba life is built on. Carved out a mountain. Help with the hunting. Delightful. He has anime hair. He should be main character. He's not. I mean, I don't even remember what this was for. It was like, make a group, tell me about groups. I don't even remember if that had a purpose. You know, like, do we need to become part of one? Let's roll out my question. Can Pokemon hold an item? Yes. Yes, they can. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cool, cool. Yeah, we can eat berries. This is coupon 3. I don't remember how many coupons we need. I think it tells you? Nope. Premier balls, blah blah blah. Key items. 1, 2, 1 and 3. Aha! Forgot about that. Anyways. Yeah, we're not allowed to leave the town until we do that. Where'd you come from? Jubilife is a big place. It might be a bit of a shock. No, I think I'll be fine. I don't believe we're allowed to get far in this direction. As far as I remember, we're gonna find out if these guys kick my butt or not. Hey, bud, you gonna kick my ass? Are we gonna be fine? This shall be a moment of fine. Oh yeah, we're gonna be fine. Tackle! I briefly remember one time going through an area and it was just like they wouldn't let us. I think because the Pokemon in that area were just too high. So they like kinda soft protect you from the areas where you're gonna get your ass handed to you in these games, which is good. Like, it's a good thing that they do that, because like, who would want to get your ass like handed to you in a Pokemon game? Unless it's intentionally. Although I do remember someone getting like, doing a thing where it's like they couldn't escape and they had like set the loading screens like randomly, so any loading screen they went through would like randomly kick them out somewhere. Let's see. Let's see, is there another Pokemon I can get, or is there just gonna be another buddy? I don't know. It's another Sphinx. I don't need another Sphinx. I want another Sphinx. Bye-bye. You know, Sphinxies. Okay. Can't remember if I have to register. Oh no, the map's its own thing. Okay. So this way is to Route 105. That's Florama Town? Don't know what that is. Canalave City? Okay, so I need to find 3 clowns before I can leave to go to Oralberg. Then I think because this path I believe is locked off. To get to Eterna, I think we then end up going down this path and along through here. If I'm not mistaken. And I don't think I am. Because I think this is the town where we have like Art Home. I'm pretty sure is the one where you can do competitions. They have them in this game. I think they do. No. So I think this is just the same Pokemon as we've had going through, with like the exception of Budu. So we're just gonna go back to the game. I'll fight these Pokemon when we get around to. I wonder if there's any items. Oh no. Saw me in the grass. The grass didn't protect me. I thought the grass would protect me. Because you remember back in the day, like, grass would protect you from battles, like, within a certain range, like, they wouldn't see you. They'd be like, oh, I can't see you, you're not there. Apparently not. Okay. Excuse me, ma'am. Well, it was effective enough. Oh man. But yeah, apart from Arceus, which is coming out, which I'm very excited for, honestly. Excuse me. No. This was the main challenge with other, like, grass Pokemon, of, like, they would just make it a struggle to kick their butt, like, knock them out. Because they're like, we're gonna, like, leech your life. And I'd be like, can you not? Thanks. No. That was a leveling up process. Okay. Brilliant. Okay. Alrighty, so apparently I just leveled up everything. Delightful. Yeah, there's nothing there. Bidoof. No. I already have one of you, sir. We've had this chat. Okay? Okay, bro? Just no. She rotated. I was hoping to sneak by you, you craftswoman. I didn't want to chat with you, lass Sarah. Hey, lass? Oh look, it's a Bidoof. We escaped it never. This game, the Bidoof, the like Zubat, and I think there's one other like base Pokemon that shows up basically everywhere. Those three Pokemon are gonna be the death of me. They're gonna be the ones that when I see them, I just go, but what? Why are you here? I thought you were elsewhere. I didn't think you'd be here. Why did you come back? I can feel it in my bones that that's gonna be the case here. And I say this with all warmth and love towards these Pokemon, knowing that I have them in my storage. I wonder if any of these are gonna evolve, because I know a couple of them, I think it's like level 15 or level like around that range is when a bunch of these ones evolve. Unless they only have like one evolution, then they wait till like level 30 or level 32 or something like that. Alright, we gotta find the third clown. Third clown time. Have we spoken with you? Yeah, okay, we have. Nothing back there. Another green hair guy. Yeah, cool. When we walk with them, we gradually get friendlier. I can live with that. Nothing back there. Is that a Pokemon on the roof? No, that's just a light. Okay. I did not mean to go inside. Thank you, but no. I think that's where we have to go in to like hand them all in. And I don't think there's anything else this way. I think going this way we just get a rod. From memory. Cool. Old rod. Yeah, I'll take it. Great. Now let's see if we can get a Magikarp. No, I don't need any fishing tips, thank you. Okay, now this is something we're gonna register. There we go. Because that will be a nightmare. Back in the day, if you didn't register it and you planned on using it, and it was like, oh look, the struggle is real. Yeah, that's because your boyfriend's probably ghosting you, honey. He's officially changed his mind about you and he's just told you to wait there. Come on, I believe in it. We can do it. We can get a Magikarp. No? Okay, we'll wait. Wait. Yeah! Pokemon time. Is it a Magikarp? Is it a Magikarp? Oh look, it's a Magikarp! Magikarp is the water version of a Bidoof. They show up everywhere. Tackle! $5 it uses Splash. Oh look, it used Splash and it did nothing. Pokeball. Doo-doo. 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 Ting! Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. We have a Magikarp! Hooray! Yeah, cool. Brilliant. No, we don't. We're gonna add it to our party. We're gonna move something out. Bye, Cricktot. I'm not what you call a bug user. The exception is probably Caterpie. Caterpie is always one that whenever it shows them in a game, I'm like, oh look, a Caterpie. And I take the Caterpie. The penguin one, that's the other one. The not the penguin, the seagull looking one. Whatever its name is, I've completely forgot. Wingull, that's the one. That is the water version of a Zubat. Magikarp, Wingull, Bidoof, Zubat. Those ones are the bane of everyone's existence when farming for anything. Which is why when when you're farming any Pokemon, back in Let's Go and Sword and Shield, it was such a gift that they would show up in the world. and you could just avoid them and like go away and come back and be like, kapoof, they've gone away. Here's new Pokemon. It was this like gift. Do. Okay, cool. Down where I have to take them. We're gonna try in here, because I think this is the only building I haven't been in from memory. I think we have to bring them in here. Or is it this guy? Delightful. We're just gonna go and explore the forest. So I think this is the place we have to take them. I think. This is gonna be the greater challenge, because I always forget where on Earth we're supposed to take these things once we have them. I briefly remember in the early version of this, it took me like, in the very first one, it took me like a half hour. Cool. Father of the... That makes him the old president. Unless the new guy is the one who formed it. It's empty. Oh look, you and your kid. Started on a small workshop. Okay, so he made it on its own. And the whole fam just lived by. Brilliant. Wanna guess what those colors are? I bet one of the colors is red. And one of the colors is blue. Because if you're the female character, I bet you get the red one. And I bet if you're the boy character, you get the blue one. So obviously, no one is in here of any use whatsoever. Great. We're just gonna go and find it then. Will you tell me? Ugh, no. Alright. Off on the search we go. I think that's Mustache Guy. Ah! So simple. And this is why I will never be a rocket scientist. Okay. Ah! Look, it's the time. I'm moving it over. Button. Button. I think this is steps. I think I'm never gonna reset. I remember resetting it once by accident in one of my games and just being like, oh no. What did I do? Now ignore the time. The time means nothing. Do I want to leave it on this? I think I will. Why did I go in this one? Oh wait, that's right, because I haven't been in here. I wanted to speak with all the mortals. Yes, yes, I know they're jammed with Pokemon goods. Okay, blah blah blah, more base tests. I remember there was like one, I think in one of these, somewhere, someone gives you something. My items. Tag. Cool. So I can use things like Antidote and Paralyze Heal. I just can't use potions. Outside of those, we're gonna see how long I can go without using potions. Now I'm gonna still buy potions if I feel like buying potions. But I'm gonna do my best at seeing how long I can go without needing to cave to the failure of a potion. Okay. My estimation is I will probably last until at least some of the later part of the game, because that's usually where my failure came in, when it came with like needing to use potions. Alright, we're gonna go in here and heal, because we're gonna go in like to that side area. We've already spoken with you guys. Yes, we would like to heal the Pokemon. That is why we came in here. It's just, you gotta have some fun in it. You do it so many times, you may as well be like, yep, we're embracing it. Alright, we're gonna change it back to the time if I can get there. Go. Did I go in this building? I don't think I did. But yeah, no, one of the reasons I like stopped playing, I knew there was a reason to come in here, I knew it. But one of the reasons I stopped playing Eastward was that like I thought I'd missed a collectible, but I think the collectible I missed was in like chapter 1. And it's just like hidden in this one area. So I'm like thinking of just replaying the whole game on the weekend. Just like from start to finish, because it took me like 3 streams of like 5 or 6 hours in each to get to the point. Yeah, Ralph doesn't take me as the kind to just like stop. Yeah, this is why I had to heal myself, because I knew we were gonna battle Ralph. I knew it was coming because we battle him like 3 or 4 times, I think, in this game. And I think whether or not I don't think it's relevant whether or not we kick his butt. Like, I don't think it matters in the greater impact. I don't think we have to, because I remember in some games you have to beat them to keep going. They're like, oh, you're not strong enough, like, go back and come back and you're tougher. You know what, we're gonna try Leafage. I'm genuinely curious, like, the strength of this against it. Because I want to know, because Leafage was, like, ineffective. Okay, now I can believe it. Alright, it is ineffective. It's very much in a probably not gonna use it again in a point of need move. Yeah, I stopped playing it because I was like, you know what? I've missed this collectible. Do I want to keep going? But I'm like 5 chapters in. So I'm like, should I just keep going? And then like I can do a rerun for myself at a later point where I get all of the things. And just see like how much I can get in this first playthrough. You know, like try and find as many of the collectibles as I can. Because you can't go back once you like go past an area for story related reasons. So I'm heavily thinking I'm just gonna keep going with the playthrough I've got of it, because it's like my first playthrough, and then like on my own go through and find every item in a playthrough for myself, because I was really enjoying Eastward when I was playing it. And I'd feel bad like restarting, because half the time when I restart a game, I get bored and I stop. If it's like I've only just done through those things and now I'm just like restarting for restarting's sake, like collect it all, because I'm a big fan of getting everything. So yeah, that was my like greater attempt. Chimchar. The water move? Okay, that was entirely useless. We found out today why we don't use withdraw. Yeah, I think this was the last one this one or the one directly after it was the last one that they like, you know, let's go with Sphinx. So I think this one or the one directly after were the last ones where the opponent, that person you had, took the Pokemon that your one that you took was like weaker to. It was either this one or Black and White, because I don't believe they did it in X and Y. I'm pretty positive. This is my like greater knowledge, because there's a couple in there that I own, but I haven't played them in a while or completed them. Well, that did absolutely nothing. Let tackle it is. We are going to get our butt kicked. Delightful. Okay, we are switching to someone else. Jesus. should have leveled my Pokemon more, leading up to this moment of catastrophe. I do not want to give Ralph any money. I would almost reset the game purely to avoid it. There we go. This lower attack. Oh no, it just lowers defense. Carry on. I swear to God, Ralph, if you use a potion, I will smack you. I will smack you in the face. Does he not realize the things at stake? My least favorite thing is when one of the like elite or like one of the like gym leaders is like, potion, and you're just like, why would you do this? Why would you hurt me this way? And I just internally cry and be like, especially if it's one where it's like you get it like right near the point of death and you're like using a move that's really powerful but you only have a certain amount of. There was one game where I had the legendary, I think it's Sapphire and Ruby, and I had the legendary in my like, I had one, like the way it was laid out, all my Pokemon were specific. There was 4 Pokemon that specifically had to be used against these Pokemon. Like I'd gathered them specifically. And whenever I did other run-throughs of the Elite Four for just like money and XP to like level up other Pokemon, because you can do it as many times as you want apparently. So I did it several times, and in the later times when I did it, I used just these 4 because they'd leveled up high enough that they just like one-shot half of their Pokemon. It was like each Pokemon had one gym, like one Elite Four member they just rolled the floor with. So every time I did this, I was just like, whenever they used a potion and I nearly killed, like knocked out the Pokemon, I was just like, that hurt. I was just like, the knife in my chest, I can still feel it. It's still there. Oh, I'm glad something came out of it for Sphinx. Sphinx, like, to be fair, that Pokemon can be very useful against like the water types and some of the later types. It's just apparently not useful against Chimchar. Hooray. I'm gonna have to remember that for the future. Oh, that's it. You can try, Ralph. Go ahead. Be free. Run with it. We're gonna see what Pokemon show up here. I don't want another Sphinx. Well, it's got the Intimidate, so it's got that going for it, but I do not need another one. Oh, we're just running away. We're fleeing. I do have to, like, get XP, but that'll come from, like, battling the trainers. Ah! Pokeball! Okay. Let's battle this guy. Yep. You can tell that I played this at some point in my life because I know the music. Youngster Michael. He's gonna challenge us with Bidoof, the greatest challenge in Pokemon history. Someday I will I wonder if there's a randomizer where like I'm sure there is. Where it randomizes like the Pokemon they throw out, and imagine if you're like first enemy, you come up to it and it's just like, and you're like, oh, this will be easy, and it's just like, youngster Michael threw out Rayquaza, and you're just like, dear God, what circle of hell did I enter into? And it's just like a Rayquaza just smacking you in the face, being like, you thought this would be easy, but you're wrong. Zubat. Don't want to switch in Zubat? No, we'll keep. We'll keep going against the infamous. We have to catch one of these bloodsuckers. We have to catch a Zubat. That was useless. Oh boy. We're gonna try to tackle. Is that better? That one. Oh yeah, no, that does more. That definitely does more against the Zubat. Why don't I just go and start with Tackle? This is why I'm always hesitant to get rid of Tackle against certain Pokemon, because it's a good move to use to like take down damage progressively when you're like catching Pokemon, which is why I always have trouble getting rid of it. So I almost always have a Pokemon with Tackle. Plus it has a high XP, like number of times you can use it, versus a bunch of the other ones that are like very useful, but they have a much lower amount that you can use them for. I did know that, thank you. Tried to avoid them, I've been trying. It has not been working. Oh boy, it's last Caitlin. Sent out Bidoof. Ah, this whole area is just Bidoof country, ain't it? I suppose it makes sense that they all have Bidoof, considering Bidoof is so easy to find in this area. It does make sense that they have Bidoofs, in theory. You just have to hope that they don't all have Bidoofs. You know, like maybe they should have something else, like not a Bidoof. Just a thought, just a theory. Yeah, we'll switch for the Starly. Why not? We're gonna swap them around. We're gonna give them all a go. Good ol' Bidoof. And we're throwing in with Starly. Level 4 against level 10. You know, I wonder if it'll just knock me out. Will it? No. One punch. Cool. I can deal with that. One punch Starly. Just how the cookie crumbles, apparently. Is that another Starly? Not budging. It's fine. I'll keep going. It'll be great. Yeah, no, recently I've been buying up collections of like older series of TV shows. You know, cause it's just for fun. Why not? So, cause a bunch of the time I've been going out to watch these shows, but when they were on streaming services like Netflix or Stan or anything like that, and they were on there, and then they've all recently been removed for some unbeknown reason, and maybe people just aren't watching them, maybe the licensing is too expensive, who knows? Regardless, I made it my, like, greater goal. I, like, have been going around and, like, getting them, like, purchasing them, because I wanted to watch them. Honestly, that's the main reason, because I want to buy them, to play them. Last Madeline. So we're gonna fight all these trainers, then we're gonna go heal, then we're gonna come back, go through the mine to Orbor, because I'm pretty sure that's the other thing on the side, but because we're not using potions, we definitely have to heal before we go through, because even though I'm positive we can get through this with minimal effort, I'm pretty sure the mine has a bunch of like rock types. Pretty positive that there's at least a Geodude that I'm gonna want to catch, and I don't want to have my ass handed to me by a Geodude. We're just gonna switch. Charlie! I can't remember, but I think each Pokemon game has like different fight music. Because this one I believe is different to a couple of the others. I really did I really like the fight music from this game, I'll think a lot more than a couple of the others. I don't know, because every single one seems a little different, and so like Sword and Shield isn't very memorable, whereas like this one I think I've actually just listened to it from my iPod, like from my phone, and just been like, yeah, this is Bob. We're just listening to this for funsies, because we can. Because it's like genuinely enjoyable as its own like music. The fight music against some of the like boss ones, like the boss fights and the like enemy team in this game, oh boy, are they a real bop. We're gonna see if there's anything new in this grass, and it does not appear to be the case. Now there's at the end gonna be a time where I'm gonna have to go back through this whole place, because there's gonna be like half a dozen Pokemon that I for some glorious reason managed to miss out on, just because. Bidoof, please. Please, buddy. Be a pal. Stop showing up. Okay. So, I personally think that these trainers here are going to have Pokemon that's just easily fightable against by Starly. So we're just gonna see if I can knock out these two dudes here with Starly. And just move on with my day. Youngster Sebastian. Bidoof? No, I'm at shop. I stand corrected. I stand corrected, dear sir. Oh boy. This is either gonna go very poorly or very okay. Oh look, no, it went fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm fine. Cool. One hit wonders Starly to the rescue. Oh man. There's a reason why you get the bird Pokemon early on, because they do actually have a greater purpose. There is a reason they were the bad guy against a bunch of Pokemon in some of the TV series, because they were just like, oh no, I'm getting my butt kicked by like this bird Pokemon, like they're running away fleeing, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get you, and you save it. And it's like, yeah, because early on these Pokemon are tough. They're steely. Half the time I think I ended up keeping one of the bird Pokemons all the way through, because there's just always some Pokemon that are weaker to like flying type moves, because they are just very effective. I know specifically the Zubats, I think, because you couldn't run away from a bunch of the Zubats because they're annoying. So half the time I'd have like a bird Pokemon, just like one, like to knock it out, because half of the wing moves, like the flying moves, will just eviscerate the bats. Because. Hey Blinkier, hey Hatsune how you doing? How's your day going? You having a good day? Thank you so much for hosting. How you been having fun? That's a really cute emote. That's from Devacat? Oh, that's so cute. I love the little cat ones. They're adorable. I always like people's like cat emotes. There's so many people I followed just because of their cat emotes. Like honestly. Okay, we're gonna see if I can do this Route 203 without healing. We're gonna find out. Oh, that's so cute. A little love heart. You just got home from work? Yeah. Today is Australia Day, so there's no work here. Like, it's a holiday. So, woo, holiday. Which is good, because I, like, slept through most of the day, because I wasn't feeling great. So it was just, like, nap time. Woke up at 1 o'clock for funsies. Yeah, first was still here. No, it is a common thing to still exist. It's almost a meme at this point. Okay, you just giving me TMs? These guys are great. Them and their like thick mustaches, or like thick beard faces. If I could choose to pick any of them to look like, it'd be this guy. This like thick mustachioed dude. Yeah. Okay. Okay, he's just giving me things. So hidden moves, use hidden moves from the hidden moves Poketech app to remove or bypass obstacles. Okay. Better use of my time to keep that one. So we're gonna just hold it here so we know which ones we have. Oh boy. I guess for us that would be the 4th of July. Yeah, so essentially Australia Day is kind of the 4th of July, I guess. Let's see. Australia Day. I'll give you the exact, like, official thing of what it is. It's the official national holiday of Australia. It marks the 788th landing of the First Fleet at Sydney Cove and raising of the Union flag by Arthur Phillip following the days of exploration of Port Jackson, New South Wales. So it's kind of just like our founding day, so I think Independence Day. Yeah, so it's not exactly like Independence Day, I guess. It's kind of the like version, I suppose. Maybe? 4th of July. 4th of July. What is the 4th of July commemorating? Commemorating the... Kinda. So it's kinda like your 4th of July. I suppose that's the closest maybe you get. There was a lot of controversy around Australia Day because there was this whole like period of time where people were calling it like Invasion Day. And there was like a lot of fighting about it, and you know, everyone has their own opinions about it. I'm choosing to keep mine to myself. I can see like both sides of it, so I'm choosing not to really make a side on it because I'm not truly invested in the day. Hey, gonna leave you a lurk, you gotta clean stuff? Fair enough. You go enjoy your cleaning. I'm just playing my way through Pokemon. My goal for this stream is to try and beat the first gym and get the like surprise gifts related to this, because it just takes a couple hours I think to do it. Because I haven't done it in Diamond, so this is Pearl. We're gonna see if I can get there. I think this is effective. It is effective, yes. Well, you can use the like, I think exclamation lurk, I think effective, so that kind of like works, but yeah. Thank you so much for like stopping by, even though it was only for like a quick bit to leave me a lurk. That's really appreciated. I always like when people just even stop by even to say hey. Everything leveled up. I think in the end actually this cave only has like 3 people I have to beat. No, 2. So I only have to beat 2 people and then I'm out. I thought this cave was more intense. I think it's because I don't have Rock Smash that I can't get through more of the cave. Using Gnome. Man. Every time someone uses Gnome, it makes me laugh. It just does. It's a ridiculous sound and I love it. I still haven't figured out how to make like a picture appear at the same time as the sound alert. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just have yet to figure it out. It's on my like list of things to figure out with technology. Because I like learning new things, and it's a new thing. Psyduck. I think that's a water type. Yeah, we're just gonna keep Starly. I'm kind of curious to see how effective it is against Psyduck. Effects of weather disappeared. What weather effect? There was no weather effect. Ridiculousness. Like, that only has no use against, I think, like... I don't know many Pokemon that cause a weather effect. There's a couple I know of. One that is like a weather... Like, its entire existence is weather. There's like this little drop thing from one of the games. I don't remember if it's even in this game. And its like entire thing is like weather. Ooh, we're here. Wow. I just got noobed. Okay, take me to the gym, my dude. Show me the way. Be the... Oh look, Ralph is here. Yeah, we're not talking to Ralph yet. Ralph has a special place in ugh. Okay. That is one way to do it. Just yell down into like the pipes and be like, "Hello, humans down." I'm sure someone down to the mine would just like completely freak out. Oh, that is the goal. I do remember that I think there's one game where there was like 2 regions to go in. There's like 2 sets of badges to get. I think it was black and white. I'm almost entirely convinced it was black and white. Dusk ball? Excellent. Psyduck. Yeah, we're not giving them nicknames. decided to kill him. Oh no. Oh, that's like me when I was a kid. I have a stuffed animal that I took everywhere with me, and I named it Puppy. That was it. Like, that's his entire name. I have a brown bear I named Brownie. There's a blue bear called Bluey. There's a polar bear called Polly. Yeah, now that's little kid naming logic for you. You name it the color or the shape. My aunt named one of our, like, cats Fluffy because it was fluffy. No, I don't want to trade for an Aber. I'm not trading him a chop for an Aber, those slimy cowards. I'm gonna catch an Aber myself. Yep, cool. They all have an ability. Already knew. Not anything I can expect. Cool. View is good for me, or is paint going down? Okay, we'll find a Zubat for this guy. Let's just take a picture. So I shall remember. I will come back with a Zubat the day I deign it good to, like, go get one. I'll eventually, like, it's not hard to get a Zubat, honestly. Like, it's not like it's a challenge, really. Every time. Pokemon girls are so pretty. Oh man, getting more badges, you get to buy more items. Okay, cool, we'll come back when we have a badge. I think it'll probably unlock, like, Great Balls or something. I'm pretty sure that's what comes out of it, is, like, you get Great Balls next. Then Ultra, after, like, I think it's like 5, maybe? I'm sure he does a great job. Of all the reasons to like rock types, I suppose them being lumpy is as good a reason as any. Yeah. Yeah, it is a bit of a trick, ain't it? Okay, divides Sinnoh into 2 distinct tabs. Yeah, cool. Okay, this is the mining. I think this is where we end up having to come whenever we want to deal with, like, fossil stuff. Just from what I remember, I think this is the city of, like, will we get fossils at a later point? I think this was where we have to come back to. Because I think this game also has, like, a fossil type. There's always a game, like, it's always just like, hey, which fossil type Pokemon would you like to catch? And then you have to, like, make a choice, and it's either, like, when you pick up that one, the other one just, like, disappears into the ground. And you're like, oh my god. What happened? It's like panic. I think there was one of the mines in particular that was my personal favorite just because of how intense the, like, mine was. Like, it was so deep and big. Because most of them are pretty small. They're kind of, like, not very pretty looking. I don't remember if it was Sword and Shield. I don't think it was. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I think this is the way to City of Energy. Oh yeah, this is the next route. Okay. I think we have to have a special move to go through there, or a bike, I think. I'm pretty sure we need a bicycle to get back through there. Pokemon carries this must be crystal. That's a big rock. Look at this. That's coal? Oh my god. That's huge. These must be artifacts? Things people use? I can't believe this is a coal rock. That thing is terrifying. Mining museum. Hello. Okay. Okay, I remember this guy. I think they used to have the mine museum used to be 2 floors, but it was kind of pointless. Like, yeah, because it's still 2 floors. You can see the 2nd floor there. But it was, like, entirely pointless, the 2nd floor. Like, it didn't really do anything. Like, there was no greater purpose to it. Like, you didn't do anything. Okay. Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not really in the mood for trading. I do like the surprise trading they had, I think. I think it only started in Sword and Shield as like surprise trading, and people just like passed out into the universe like copies or like of the starters. So I ended up with like one of a bunch of the starters just on the principle of like I'm very happy for you, Ralph, and your badge. Oh boy. But yeah, like I really liked that part of the trading because you could like put out a Pokemon and it would just like pass out into the ethos and you could get anything back. Sure, you got some duds, but most of the time it was just like if you put it back out there, you're likely to get something good out of it eventually. It was just a progression, I guess. You know? Alright, so I always liked this area, but it was weird because you like Pokemon wouldn't appear in this part, but appear like farther down. Chop, 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 I chop. I don't remember being able to go into this building. Okay. Good to know I can come in here. Didn't even know that I could go in that building. Maybe that's new. I don't remember being able to go in there. Okay. Super potion. Cool. Still gonna try and not use any potions, but that's nice that they... Alright, we're gonna switch the Pokemon because I think... No, we're gonna leave Starly. I'm kind of curious to see how Starly handles the rock types, honestly. Like, if it does okay against them. Dude. I knew that this is where we would finally like see these guys. I was wondering if we would in the earlier mine, but for some reason we didn't. Let's see. That did nothing. Oh man. One sec. My mother wants to talk to me. There. Let's give it a try. That was more effective. I'm just thankful this thing hasn't used any like attack moves yet. Okay, we're gonna try and catch it now. Sandstorm, not a favorite. Yeah. Not a fan. Sandstorm only lasts a certain amount of time, but it can be a real pain in the butt, you know? Like, cause it's just like continual existence, continually buffets, and you're just like, why? Why do this? Well, what was the cause of this? Cool, everyone leveled up. Yep, we are not nicknaming it. I'm just gonna send a box. We'll come back to it. X defense. Nice. Swear to God, if the next one's a Zubat. No, it's just another Geodude. Okay, that's fine. We'll run from it, because we've already caught it. Got away safely. Okay, so there's Pokemon fights ahead, possibly. Aha! Zubat. I found it. It didn't take long. It's a rarity for you to go through one of these caves and not see a Zubat. Honestly, it will be a shocker. A real shocker. Ah! It lived! We're just gonna try and catch it now. And we don't have to catch all the Zubat. Wonderful. There's our Zubat. We've succeeded. I almost never bother at leveling up a Zubat, because I know it's got evolutions, but I normally just try and catch the evolution of a Zubat. Because I just can't be bothered. Because, like, it's rare for people to care about a Zubat. It's just not common. Oh, cute my chops. I brought myself in on this. I'm speaking with the workers. There are worse to run into with Machop. Machop, I think, is very weak to the wing, like flying type. I'm pretty sure flying type is pretty successful against them. Oh look. Focus energy, I'm pretty sure takes like 2 moves to become effective. It's just like getting pumped. Oh boy. This whole area, you can tell I'm getting okay, we're gonna see if the next part has him in, otherwise we're gonna possibly raid someone. Ah, this is him. Go. Fallen boulders need to be smashed. Of course, you have to be the gym. That'd be me. Cool. Running away. Excellent. My god. We're totally doomed. Oh, we're gonna try anyways. Oh yeah, that hurt. Let's try it. Let's give it a go. This is the face of someone who's doomed. Oh, I want a Geodude so much. It's less effective against you, good. Let's give it a try. Stop with the rock throws, my dude. Oh boy. This hurts. This hurts on a scale. It hurts so much. Why? 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 Oh my god, no. Alright, we'll battle you and then we'll come back for honest. Oh no. That was awful. Ow. Aren't these moves it actually affect the MCU? Not really. We're gonna move to you. Cold start wake, you're the boss now. Oh, that hurt. I really wanted an Onyx. These Onyxes are cool. No one looks at them. I remember briefly when I first got my first Onyx, and it was like I tried to level it up to Steelix for ages. Like I got it to a super high level. I don't think you can actually evolve an Onyx into a Steelix. I'm not entirely convinced you can, because it never did. I got it to like level 60, and it never evolved. Growth. His growth does nothing. I don't care what anyone says about like usefulness. I do like how in Arceus you can now have a purpose. Of like you can do 2 moves if one of them is like a certain type. So it gives more reason to have things like growth and growl. But I've just never felt the greater urge to keep them. Because the thing is, if you're limited on like, moves you can have, it's a limitation. Oh look, it passed out. Shocker. Wow, that went easy. That went quick. Alright, let's see if we find an Onyx before we leave. Otherwise, we'll come back for an Onyx. It's not a greater fiasco. Apparently not. So we'll come back and get an Onyx. Is this an Onyx? No, it's a Geodude. We're gonna get an Onyx before we leave this town. It's gonna be a thing. This won't be today. Oh. Alright, we're gonna save. Oh man. Jesus. Absolute Jeebus. Getting our asses handed to us. By that. Alright, while it heals, I'm gonna have to look at these. Just for my own like personal sanity. Who else is playing this? Because I follow a lot of people who play like so I have to have a look and see who's playing Pokemon. People I like know. If there's anyone I know playing at the moment. Category go. There it is. Okay. I don't know if there's anyone else currently playing it, because I think most people who were playing it were playing it earlier. Yeah, I don't really know anyone who's playing it right now at the moment. Yeah, so it looks like there's only anyone I know who's streaming at the moment or doing anything, so I may just like end the stream for sure here. We're gonna save. Okay, thank you. I forgot that the save button is internalized now. Alright. Just how. Alright. So, hopefully you all can hear the desktop audio now. So thank you all for being here today. And for being here for stream, for lurking, for hosting. Anyone who stopped by and said hey. But I'm ending stream today. Because it's 11 o'clock. And I've work tomorrow. So I was only planning on doing like a short stream for a couple hours. I plan on normally starting around like between 7 and 8 o'clock whenever I stream. So if you're here and you haven't followed me before, that's very loud. So if you're here and you haven't followed me before, check a follow if you happen to enjoy today. If not, it was lovely to have you here. Next time I come back, I will be playing Animal Crossing again because I have some decorating I want to do. And hopefully I'll have moved the houses by then, or at least another house, so that way we'll have more of the neighborhood I can plan, because I'm trying to move all the houses so I can do the neighborhood, so I can move the houses back into the neighborhood, so then I can do the farm, because the whole back corner is going to be farm. So yeah. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm not raiding today because I don't know anyone who's live at the moment, and I just... Yeah, I know it's good at plants to like always meet new people, but after a couple times where I raided and the people I raided to started saying weird stuff, or people in the chat started saying weird things, I just haven't felt comfortable raiding if I know people are lurking and they could end up in something weird that they didn't plan on being in. So I hope all of you have a lovely Wednesday or Thursday, whichever day you're going into. So, bye!